Welcome to I Found the Mahdi. I'm Alia Halal.
And I'm Irfan Alamgir.
And today our guest is joining us all the way from China, originally from Jordan, brother Muhammad. How are you, Muhammad?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Good to have you on the show. We've actually been really wanting to interview you for a while now.
Oh yeah, we
right?
have. Yes, we've been chasing you down for weeks, but there's something always gets in the way.
He's a very sought after
individual.
Sought after.
Very unique story. I'm very excited about this particular episode,
and I'm very glad to be here. And finally, I made it here to this show.
Yeah, you did it. We're here now.
I used to watch it on YouTube usually all of the time.
Oh, amazing!
And now I'm here, and I can't wait to get to it.
Yes, let's jump right in. So we usually start by asking our guests their religious background growing up. So maybe we should begin there.
All right. So, I'm born in Jordan. Jordan is a mostly Muslim country. It's a Sunni Muslim country. But in Jordan, you do not know that you are Sunni or Shia or which sect of Islam you are. We all just know that we are Muslims and we think that's the Islam and end of the story. But of course, if you're born in the 90s, you have now a lot of social media, right? So it's time to ask questions and you get to know we are the Sunni group.
Interesting.
Or they call us, at least. We are Muslims, we love all Muslims, right? But they call us the Sunni group. And the idea will grow. The more you grow and learn. And of course, a lot of political stuff will happen or happened in our time. So we had to learn. We had to learn that, we are labeled as Sunni Muslim. So I guess this is it in a short answer.
That's interesting that awareness isn't very widespread in Jordan about the difference. There's so many sects of Islam, actually.
Yes, right? And coming from a Pakistani background, I just thought there was Muslims. There's God and there's one God, emphasized over and over again, and Prophet Muhammad is his messenger, and that was it basically. And then you have absolutely no idea that Islam has so many different sects and groups within it, and there is so much inner strife within the religion that as you're going to finally leave the nest and you go to university and you meet other people, you realize, wow, it's actually quite a fractured religion in many ways. When did you become aware that there were other aspects of Islam, and particularly Shia Islam?
Shia Islam, of course, with the Middle East, let's say the wars that happened in the Middle East, you start to ask about the group names, for example, this group from this country. And when you if you change the TV channel, for example, you'll find them talking maybe negative about this group. The other TV channel maybe talks some positive. So you start to understand this one is supported, or this TV channel, for example, is supported by this country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this country is categorized or supported by this bigger country, which is the main source of, let's say, Shia Islam, for example. Or that country that is the main source of Sunni Islam. And some people leave it at there. And I think the safest idea that you can get at that time is I love Prophet Muhammad. I love being a Muslim. And I don't want to go into this division. And if you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, khalas, you are Muslim. End of the story. And I think that's the majority of people that I saw when I was growing up.
Yeah. Were you a practicing Muslim? Did you say the 5 prayers? Did you fast in Ramadan? Did you do all of that stuff? Go to the mosque on a Friday?
That's an interesting question. Yeah. Okay. For me, growing up, my grandpa and my family, apart from my dad, they were religious and very religious. The other part of the family, also religious, but they will not push you to practice. So, for example, if you no one's going to give you money for praying. That's not going to happen at, let's say, when I go Saturday to see my mom's relative. But that's going to happen on Friday, for example, when I see my relatives from my dad's side. They're a bit strict, right? So anyway, the days go by when we went to school. Now, in school, it's a different story. The school that I went to, they were really obsessed with Islam. Like, even you have to make wudu, you have a teacher on your head. He might, have a bamboo stick, kind of,
wow.
And you have to pray.
Mm-hmm.
And it's forced, kind of really forced on you to do. So it backfired to me.
Right.
It did the opposite to me. You know what I mean? So, not much of, didn't pray too much. Never fasted a day. When I used to skip the uniform, if I have like this, jeans on, they'll call me a cowboy. Yeah, by the teacher. Look at this cowboy. Maybe he will slap you or something.
So what are you expected to wear?
Just, it's a kind of a black color. That's it. And for the shirt, I do have the T-shirt or the shirt for the school with the logo on it and everything. But it's about this wearing jeans, Jeans is related to
Western
cowboys.
thing,
It's
yes.
a
Western thing, right?
Western thing. So the name cowboy, for example, came.
Was that your nickname at school?
At that age, yeah, it was cowboy.
That's cool.
And it backfired, actually, with me. Because, at the time, I'm going to go back to the YouTube point. I do see what's going on in the world, right? You can make me feel, you can let me live in this bubble. But on the other hand, I see on YouTube, like, I can see movies.
You have a door to the rest of the world, right?
I can see,
internet.
like, broadcasts, what's going on in the world, how families live, And that's not normal, what is going on around me. I can feel it. It's not normal. And doesn't make sense. And of course, you keep going. Now you would start to learn English. Actually, that's how I learned English, from watching movies, maybe the culture itself, listening to more and more broadcasts on YouTube. Because if you love the culture, you can learn the language, right?
Yes.
And that's pretty much about, did you practice or not?
Your relationship with religion was not, with Islam at least,
No, it didn't go good.
was not very positive.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? When you compel or force somebody to do something, it says la ikraha fi din. There's no compulsion in the religion. But yet, over and over again, our seniors sort of drill it into us that you must do it, you have to do it, it must be done, without explaining, without creating a desire within the child. And this is a typical example of somebody who is forced into something, who's called a cowboy, who's marginalized, who's rejected, and then they become rebellious to the faith. And this is something that you had in your experience growing up as a teenager. And did you like that type of a label? How did you handle it? Because it's not easy to be called a cowboy and flung aside.
Well, let me tell you, I became a cowboy.
Yeah,
That's how you embraced it, huh?
So
That's one way of doing it.
Could you draw this closer so we can get
So I just kind of became the cowboy they were afraid of since the first beginning. I was in school. I did go back one time and just cut my school T-shirt and shirts and stuff. I'm not going back to it. Do you guys whatever you want. And
away with the black pants, on come the jeans.
No more black pants, khalas, jeans,
hats.
And that's it. Yeah, of course, hats.
There you go.
We will modify the shirts, to make them higher.
Okay.
And you just feel, because it's not about the way that they do it to you, or it's a package, right? When I see someone my age, I know he didn't do wudu. He's running from the teacher. But when you say Allahu Akbar, you start praying. No, the teacher will not touch you now, or he's not gonna put his hand on you. It doesn't make sense. If it's a game, I don't want to be a part of this game from the start.
Right, like you're a prisoner of some sort. Like you can be punished for not complying or not doing what they tell you, and it's not coming from your heart. So you don't want to be a hypocrite. You want to do what you believe in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. And that is what Islam is about, submitting to something from the heart. Submission comes from within. So you cannot force someone to pray. It doesn't work. It's actually it's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you can see now the foundations falling into place to the person you was meant to come and the decisions you took after that.
Right.
So growing up as this kind of cowboy rebel, how did you then proceed? How did things progress from there? After school, I mean.
After school, I went to the university, University of Jordan. I had a long story there in the University of Jordan.
What did you study
one.
What did you study at the University of Jordan?
I changed my major. I did start studying, we call it like a computer science, but with business. It was called BIC, Business Information, BIT, sorry, Business Information Technology, which is like the one that we used to, the CS, which is the computer science. It's the same, but they removed some of the old stuff, and they did add kind of few business hours in the mix.
In the program, basically.
In the program. So first year, of course, I'm going to the university, and we have I had discrete. The name of that lecture was discrete, and the other one was fundamentals about computer. So they now want us to prepare a show, kind of 30 minutes, and they gave us in advance some time to do it. So, okay, I'm searching the technology and this IT for a month. The conclusion that I came up with was anything that you study in the university, which is going to take you up to 4 years usually. The average is a 4-year schedule. In 3 years, actually, is going to be overdated. So anything, when you finish your studies in the university, when you graduate, you're not going to use what you learned. Especially, this is in all aspects, especially in the computer and the IT. So coming to this conclusion from the first year, it didn't go well for me. And I did that lecture. And actually the doctor was not happy about it.
The professor
of that fundamentals of computer science was not happy. That when I told everyone that actually whatever we learn here, we still have, when we graduate, we still have to pay more money, have some kind of a 2-year courses. So if we really want to find a job, because the stuff that they are teaching us around is going to be outdated.
Right.
We're not going to use it, basically.
That's
It's a kind of a review before you go to the 2 years field study.
Review, that's quite a lot.
Yeah, and this is actually well documented. Okay, so it's just a waste of time. So I changed my major, then got fired from the university.
So they expelled you for changing it?
Nope. Because of my family name. My family have a lot of people with the same last name, Hiyari, in Jordan. And Muhammad being the most popular male name. And someone with the same name did something in the university, and I found myself fired. And of course, they tried to keep the name fixed that it's me. But I went through it. We have a lawyer, do this, do that. Now I'm already 1 year late. Until they finally gave us the video footage of the thing, which is not, I wasn't there.
Right.
And I learned
That is very
what
crazy.
A story.
Yeah, I learned a really valuable lesson at that area. You remember about the cowboy thing, right?
Yes.
No,
what was your nickname at uni?
William.
William?
Yeah.
He had one.
Oh, there you go.
William, yeah, because they say because I speak English, I can't speak English.
Okay.
So anyway, the lesson from that one, what happened to me was, because when you I told my mom, didn't believe that I had nothing to do with it. Dad, of course, friends, brothers, sisters, uncles, even my lawyer, the one I was talking about, the lawyer. He was like saying yes, yes, yes to me. But when we had the big meeting in the university with the decision makers, he was like, okay, he did it, but he's gonna plead guilty, so you can give him like half. You can bring him back after. I said, listen, it's not about coming back. I might not even come back to university, but I want to show everyone that I did not do it. It was not me.
Goodness, what a dramatic phase of your life.
And I told them that the only thing that I'm asking, sorry, is just you guys have cameras. Just show them the video.
Fair enough.
Show them
Seems
me doing the
straightforward
thing.
enough, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And eventually they brought someone. He put his hands on the Quran. He said, "Wallahi, it's him." It's
Whoa.
like, imagine, human being, you've never seen him before. First time eye contact with someone. Instead of smiling, you just put your hand on the
Wow.
on the Quran and you say, "Yes, that's him."
Yeah.
But it's the first time I see who. And by the way, I'm 20. I'm 20 years old. It's a long story short. Eventually, it's not me. Okay, not me. Then I heard about China.
Yeah.
What did you hear?
I knew that false swear on the Quran was the last straw.
Yeah, that's
You're like, I'm going.
I'm tired of this
Jordan,
stuff.
goodbye.
Yeah, this stuff is deadly. You know, it's
Yeah.
deadly stuff.
A lot of people at that point would have been extremely frustrated and
Actually,
angry.
I lost 30 kilograms
My
in
goodness.
2
From the
months.
stress and
2 months.
my goodness.
Because, I mean, I didn't do it.
Yeah. It's
And
your
no one is-
livelihood on the line.
I'm
because
telling everyone.
Yeah.
And they say, no, in school they called you cowboy. Yeah, you know, cowboys sometimes do this kind of
insanity.
stuff.
What?
It's just, and even
William the
after losing
cowboy.
the 30 kilograms,
Yes.
my father said, no, you just lost weight so you can look different on the camera. By that time, I already had it, you know, I had enough.
That's heartbreaking, I have to say. It must have been hard for you to have no one understanding you or your position.
I mean, eventually they put the cameras on and it was obvious, you know?
Did anyone apologize? Did anyone tell you that they were sorry for thinking that way about you?
I mean, thank them. I thank them, actually, because I learned like early lessons, let's say.
It was at that moment you realize the wisdom of the Prophet Muhammad, that you're not going to find knowledge in the University of Jordan. You're going to find it in the East.
In China.
Maybe, yeah.
Even if you have to
China.
travel to
Yeah.
China, right? That's what the
Yes.
hadith says.
That's exactly what it says. It could have said a lot of different things, but the Prophet specified China, even though you had the Persian civilization to the east. You had the Indian civilization.
Exactly.
They were known for mathematics and different things like this. Astronomy, astrology. But the Prophet said China. And that's where you... did it have anything to do with it? Or were you fascinated by Chinese civilization and culture from before? Why China?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, according to what was going to happen after university, my uncle in Canada have a big IT company. He have around 400 workers, employees, you know. So he needed someone from the family to help him. But, you know, growing up, and I know that the West, or let's say Canada, for example, or the States, they look at us differently. So I wasn't really about to go there. I needed somewhere where I can belong, you know.
When you say us, you're referring to...
Anyone that's not white.
So like someone from the Middle East, for example.
Someone Middle
Right.
East, someone with color. I mean, I do speak the language, not from school, not
you
from
don't look the
university,
part.
from people from that language, from that culture.
Yeah.
So I do know how they think, right? Because the culture is the language, actually. Eventually, the language and the culture are one piece. It's a one unit.
Yeah.
You cannot learn one of them. So I heard that.
SubhanAllah, you know, that's really interesting. I just have to start because when we were at one point in Germany, and I was struggling to learn German. And the first thing Abu Sadiq told me when I told him I'm struggling and can you give me something to help me learn quicker? Just wipe your hand over my head. Abu Sadiq said the fastest way to learn the language is to think in that language, to think like a German.
Wow, that's fascinating.
And when you said you have to, the culture and the language are intimately linked, that's exactly what it is, isn't it? You have to think in that way. You have to get into the culture, live in that country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. So you really threw yourself into the culture, and through throwing yourself into the culture, the language came. A very alien language.
Yeah.
No,
Mandarin.
we're talking about English now.
Oh, okay.
It's still English. Now we'll jump to the Mandarin.
But English too is very far away from Arabic. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't about to go there. I didn't feel that I'm going to be home, you know. So a friend of mine told me, William, you're already a William.
They're still calling you William at this
the William
point.
name, yeah. A friend of mine, he graduated. One of our friends, he already graduated from the University of Jordan, and he had his linguistics degree, and he's working in China, and they give like good salaries, etc. He said, why don't you go? Why don't you apply? So I applied. You just send a video, you introduce yourself. Hi, my name is such and such, and they just want to see your English when you speak it. Doesn't matter what you say. Someone I obviously got few job offers. I think so. Applied, went to China, and when I was going to China, because I've never thought. Back to your question, doctor, I never thought about Asia or China or. Like the most that I know is this car brands maybe from China, this car brands maybe from Japan, and that's it. That's the end of the story. I said maybe I'll survive for a week, 10 days, and I'll be back. 7 weeks, 10 days were almost a decade, in China.
So you stayed almost a decade in China in the end. So that 1 week turned into a decade. Wow. You must have changed a lot in that decade.
Yeah.
So what happened there? You seem to be very interested in the idea of cultures and languages. So tell us about your life in China. What was happening?
Okay. China, it's you learn a lesson every day. I'm gonna give a small lesson, not important lesson. That was just a setup to slow down and pay attention. So I get to China. I was in Beijing first day, in the capital. Hungry. I went to a restaurant. It's hot outside. So they will give you some water to drink, as saying hello before you order. They put this glass in front of you, and they pour water. I take it, I drink. It's a boiling water. And if you notice, the glass takes few seconds to adapt or to get the heat outside of it. I burned my mouth, right? But I learned. Everything's going to be different. From the water you drink, I've never heard or thought that there are people who drink hot water.
Before eating?
Before, after, in winter, in summer. I've never seen anyone drink hot.
So it's like a custom at the restaurant that they pour you boiling water into a glass.
No, they drink just boiled water.
They don't drink cool water?
They do not trust the tap water, and they like to drink hot beverages. They do not drink anything cold.
Very interesting.
It's really rare to find this cold stuff in China, cold beverages. So when you go to a supermarket or something, everything is in the fridge is just a light. There is no fridge, and they have fridge, but it's will make the beverages warmer, which is the opposite. And it didn't stop here, Alia. It's whatever we wear black for, they wear white. Whatever we wear white for, they wear black. Everything is upside down. Literally, everything is the opposite. You know?
That's so interesting.
So it was time to pay attention. Forget about what you learned. Literally, because whatever you know, they know something, but maybe different. So now which one is the right? I'm seeing two different colors. There is no gray. If you go to a European country or maybe a neighbor country or something, you might find some gray colors, right? In between stuff. But now it's all white and black. And you go from on to the journey. Now you have to decide. Then who are you to decide? You start to think.
The philosophy behind it is really astounding.
Yeah. So I was really grateful for this journey in China.
It's also interesting that for you to survive in a place like that with everything the other way around now, as you're putting it, you'd have to be very flexible to the changing surroundings, and you'd have to be very flexible to changing your own self from inside and your expectations, which is interesting considering how your journey went ahead with religion and your relationship with God, right?
Yes.
Which also I wanted to ask you, you had said earlier you were not ever very invested in Islam or practicing Islam. You had a bad experience growing up. But what about God? You and God. How was that for you through all of this?
I kept a feeling inside my chest. You know, when you're, let's say, 5 years old, around that age, when you're a child, I mean, that at that time you're pure, right? So I try to keep this version of me alive inside of me. Why? Because I know someday I'm gonna need it. I mean, I want to keep this original person that came from God, right? Or the baby, the clean. And it went on. I mean, I know that there's a God, of course. I know that. I love Prophet Muhammad and his family, of course, but did not act on it. You know?
The rituals. He didn't act on the rituals, basically.
No dua, no nothing. Until one day. But it's a big jump. Big jump in the story, in the timeline. If you want, I can jump to there. And it is interesting also.
I would love to hear that. I think we would like to know that for sure.
Yes, definitely. I mean, because you hear about China and you feel that because ever since religion was put to the side, you would expect there to be like a spiritual void in the people of China because they were previously known as a spiritual people, meditation and all of this stuff. Was there anything in that culture as you transitioned, as you became, you went for a week, you stayed a decade, was there something about the culture that evoked your own spiritual memory of the Prophet Muhammad, or did it bring you closer to God in some spiritual way?
I would say so, yeah, of course. But it wasn't kind of it's not like a slow burn. It's kind of a sudden for me at the end. You know what I mean? It's kind of all what I've been going through. Now I understand what's going on. Now I can use the things that I learned during this journey, in my life journey, to make the big decision. So for me in China, first 3 to 4 years, I couldn't speak the language. 3 years.
Okay.
I had some dreams in Chinese. Because when I got married, my first year in China, my wife was telling me, like, you're speaking some Chinese when you sleep, while you're asleep. I said, maybe, I thought maybe I'm speaking Arabic or something. She have no idea, maybe. Anyway, so first 3 years, you just watch people, right? I started to learn also another language, a different language. It's a body language, because I cannot understand what everyone's saying. And in China, by the way, most people, they do not speak any other language. It's only Mandarin, only Chinese. And really, really few people that can speak English. And it's like in these years, I can count few of them that I have encountered that they do speak English, especially on the street or in your everyday life, you know? So I started to watch people, watch and learn body language. Of course, on YouTube, they have a lot of stuff. On Google, you can find a lot of sources. And of course, you have the people around you. So I'll watch you, for example, talking to people. At the end, I'll ask my wife, was this thing that you guys were talking about? Yeah, kind of, maybe guessing. Then you start to understand more about the body language. It's good. It's not going to hurt. We learned it. And you find out that if you don't understand what's going on around you, life is good, actually. If you don't understand what people are saying, everything looks beautiful, colorful.
Fair point.
In any country, actually. But by the time you start to understand what other people are thinking of you or thinking of that person, and you start to measure yourself with others, and all of the ego goes in, and his ego and my ego.
Makes everything complicated. Right?
Life gets complicated. Yeah. We're back to the kind of before, or let's say Jordan phase, kind of. But this time it's not because of China. This time it's because of the things that are going on in the world. And I'm speaking about the wars, the famines, the people that are killing each other. And of course, when you look at the Chinese, like you said, a lot of spirituality, right? But not now. Now is a bit different. Now there's a lot of, it's more of a money-related life. Because of this CCP that's going on the Chinese Communist Party. You know, people's the way of thinking, the way of life, everything is related or based on money, in finances, and do this or don't do that, even relationships. So for me, it did the opposite to me. By 2023, I wanted to be out, like kind of a self-destruct. I was making good money before 23. Then I wanted to self-destruct, you know. I pushed away from working, pushed away from making money.
Why did you want to self-destruct?
Because it's like, when I see everyone want to eat breakfast and they say, oh my God, I'm going to pass out, I didn't have my breakfast, that's a big sign to me. Okay, I'm going to skip breakfast from now on to see. I'm not going to talk to you about it, but I will do it to myself to assure myself. No, don't do that. Right. Don't you ever say that. No breakfast, I'm going to pass out. No, you can try it.
You can survive
then
that.
You like it, you know? And same thing with the making money stuff. I said, I always do appreciate my time more than money. So, or just, are you just saying that, or you do really believe that? You need to test yourself to see if you do really believe that, or it's just the kind of a slogan, right?
Like, basically live what you believe.
Yeah.
Don't just say things and you don't live by it. And have a sincere life. That was what you really wanted to do.
Yeah. After that, I even got, at that time, let's say in October, the thing that happened in the Middle East, and me working in China around kids and mommies and families, I do really know what is a child, because I see a lot of them. I see them basically most of the time, most of my time in China around kids, you know, toddlers, kids. And I said, like, even if I'm in China and this situation is going on, even if it's on another planet, time is the same time. How can you be like, you have money, you have your family, you have your kids, everyone is happy, but people are dying there, right? Mm-hmm. It's just kind of a shocking to me. It gave me a shock, and I did stop working full time now, zero work, because I need to know what's going on. I mean, if there's a God, how is this happening? Why is this happening? You know? And, you know, go back to history, back and forth, do this, do that. Eventually I was, my wife was like shouting on me in the house. Listen, we have to pay the rent. We have to pay the wages for the workers. We have.
Everything revolves around money, like you said.
Yeah. I said, okay, I think I know someone. And I thought at the time that this is the time to use the little original Muhammad and talk to God finally. I prayed to God. Second day, before you know it, like magic. Customers usually, they need time before they, in our business, before they submit or they pay. You need to show them around, tell them about the curriculum, the lesson planning, etc. Okay, how much? And because it's a yearly payment. This girl, Andy's mom, she came, she paid, 5 minutes thing, and left. I didn't feel wow, or actually what I felt is shame that I haven't talked to you in years. Wow. Now I'm asking about money.
That is something.
Yeah, that what happened. That was December 2023. I ran back home and I said, sorry, God, I'll never do that again. Never ask about any money. Just if there's a way, show me the way. I just want to be a soldier. I want to be with you. Okay, slept. Second day, just on YouTube, and I saw one of the Mahdi has appeared, one of our Sadiq lectures.
Yeah, he found you.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
You know, when I clicked on that video, I felt like it's kind of a, you know, you have the watch later list for long videos on YouTube. You have something like really interesting, but it's 2 hours or 3 hours. You add it to add watch later, right? Maybe sometime you'll have time and I'll watch it later. But no, I haven't added this video to a watch later, right? It was so interesting. I felt like, you know, when you have an exam, sometimes you have a quiz or something, and the teacher is like, he's a different teacher, he's smart. He will tell you, okay, these are the answers. You correct your mistakes by yourself. That's what I felt when I was watching the lecture or the video, which was about the Surah Al-Kahf, about the 7 sleepers and the stories in the in that particular surah.
What an episode to
that
start
was,
with.
Yeah, tremendous.
And I sent it to my dad, to my mom, to my friends, to everyone. None of them completed the video. Some of them would say, you know, I already pray, I already do that. Why would I watch? I said, okay, I'm already tired
of
Mahdi
when I'm already praying 5 times a
speaking
day.
too much about or arguing. Yeah. At the time, I have no idea what's going on. But I'm a YouTube expert. You know, I'm a YouTube expert.
What does that mean? What's
meaning
YouTube
I've never put a comment, I never put a like, I never wrote anything on YouTube. I just watch. If something I like, I'll go to the oldest in the channel, oldest video, see what's going on. I don't read comments actually, even to see what's the story before I give my judgment on something. So I went to the oldest. It was the name of the video at the time. Signs of the Imam al-Mahdi, or how to identify the Imam al-Mahdi in 2023. I watched the video. When he said, Father from whom is peace, he said the name Ahmad al-Hassan. It's like a password to me. That was the name that I needed. Somehow it just stopped the video. Everything makes sense. I repeated the video one more time. Then I hear Ahmad al-Hassan one more time, right? I went on YouTube, how to pray like Ahmad al-Hassan. And that was the first time to pray. But before that, I had to go to Google, how to make wudu. I forgot there's a neck to wash or no. Some details, how to Surah Al-Fatiha. Double check, just double check.
That is a big jump suddenly, a very big shift in you.
Yeah. I mean, it's really logical. You know, especially if you go it one by one. All of them are logical. You cannot argue with that logic. If you are a sincere person, if you really step back and you can imagine, okay, if I'm from Canada and I watch this video, how would I react? Okay, if I'm from Pakistan, from Jordan, from okay, what about the logic? What if you are a logical person, right? You watch the video and I think it's a no-brainer. You cannot argue with it, right?
No, you can't. Absolutely. Sadiq is very logical, and he really corners the person listening with logic, because there's no hole in the argument, for sure. But I think it's interesting that you went from the kind of person you were before that to, as soon as you begin to listen to that logic, you say to yourself, I really need to go full force into that direction. Remember how to make wudu, remember how to pray, and reestablish that lost relationship with God. I think that's very interesting.
Because, you know, when I was 16, I just throw this one in, 16, 17, I don't know, in Jordan, I would like to think, okay, what if you were in the time of Prophet Muhammad? He's not going to knock on my door. I'll have to be maybe walking outside, looking for someone outside. I'll have to find him. I'll have to go back to my home, tell my neighbors, tell my family members, tell my friends that there is such and such. The Prophet Muhammad is here, alayhi salam. Right? The Imam al-Mahdi. I mean, the state of the world was, it is still, it's just getting worse, right? Worse every day. So where is he? It's definitely not me. Impossible. It's not going to be me. I cannot do that. I cannot even, I don't know how to pray, right? And a lot of people know how to pray, but they won't even, it depends back to the TV name, the country name, and you know the story. It's a no-brainer, right? But am I the only one who sees that everything is going just from bad to worse? Then I see Abu Sadiq alayhi salam. And there you go. Then Father alayhi salam, Abu Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, he gives you few ways to, if you wanna, how to identify anyone that ever been and ever to come, you know,
as appointed by God.
As appointed by God. It's all about this, as appointed by God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you do not talk about appointed by God, Abu Sadiq from his peace, and even if you just take it logically, more than enough. Appointment by God alone is enough, right? As a man, as a brave man, alone is enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for you, it was the kind of intellectually coherent arguments that he was making based on logic. It made sense, step by step, reaching a conclusion. That's what really drew you into Abu Sadiq as a personality, as a person of knowledge. But did you, growing up as a alienated Sunni Muslim, did you have any expectations of the character of the Mahdi, what he would be like? Did you know of any narrations related to him? Was there any kind of match or surprises when you discovered Abu Sadiq finally?
Okay. For me, first of all, I always have this feeling. It's not a feeling, kind of a feeling good, feeling bad. No. After leaving Jordan, actually, while I was in Jordan, let's talk about wider, like the end times, for example. If you go online, you cannot find a lot of materials from Arab-speaking people. It's more going to be about the English. It's going to be in English. Revelations from Christianity, from people who are Jews, Christians, you know. People who have these like tons of YouTube channels that they talk about the four beasts, and they have their own interpretations, you know. So you know you're going to get lost eventually. So there is nothing called knowledge, right? This one I'm pretty sure about it. I was before like this religion. I know that me myself. It doesn't matter how much you read, how much you learn. You know nothing. You have no idea what's going on. That's when I was finished with. And the more you know, the more you believe that you have no idea what's going on in the world, right? Let alone the heavens. But it's kind of something in the soul that you feel. So why I said the name Imam Ahmad al-Hassan alayhi salam, this name by itself was enough to me, was enough by me. And actually when I had the first dream, I saw Abu Sadiq alayhi salam and Imam Ahmad al-Hassan. I was between a lot of believers. I think my dad was beside me, but not my physical dad. I didn't even look at him because everyone was excited. We all, the believers, we were very excited. Then I saw Abu Sadiq alayhi salam and Ahmad al-Hassan, they walk between us. And I went and shook Imam Ahmad al-Hassan alayhi salam hand.
So beautiful.
So when I woke up, I didn't know who's that. Like short white hair, short beard, right? Have some glasses on. I haven't read The Goal of the Wise.
You didn't know that you'd seen Ahmad al-Hassan.
I know, but I think maybe this is because Ahmad al-Hassan, I see the picture on the channel or on the TV that satellite station with a long green and beard, right?
Yeah.
I haven't read The Goal of the Wise by the time because I'm busy on the YouTube, the lectures, and I'm going, you know, I'm a bit late on the YouTubes. So when I read The Goal of the Wise, there is a section where it says, it's a latest picture of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam.
Oh, wow.
When I saw that picture, I knew that's the man. I saw him in my dream. I shook his hand. And actually, when I look at his eyes, I had a lot to say, you know. But it's kind of, I became a picture. I had this feeling that I don't have to speak or say anything. He see it already. He can see it.
Exactly right.
And I saw in his eye the noon, you know, the kind of
the letter noon.
The letter noon. And it was lighting orange. When I looked at it, this feeling, and it was a nice one, yeah. Then I learned from Abu Sadiq alayhi salam that you have a lot of ways to do the istikhara. One of them, I did the Quran, take a picture. I didn't understand what's going on here. A year and a half later, which is, you know, a year and a half as a believer. Going back to my old messages with my dad because the relationship went south. So I want to see. Yeah, in December, I did tell him this about Surah Al-Kahf, this video about the 7 sleepers. That's true. Oh, the istikhara. It's page 573. 573 is about Surah Al-Jinn, when Abdullah rose.
Oh my goodness.
But now a year and a half in the dawah, and I know what does it mean,
what
right?
A verse.
Yeah, and also a year and a half in the Quran.
I think we need to give some context to our viewers, because I'm so enthralled with the story that we're forgetting to tell them what that means. Like, can you?
No, please.
Well, basically, this beautiful verse in Surah Jinn, it's, and I'm paraphrasing the translation here, but it's essentially saying when Abdullah rose, they swarmed around him.
Yeah.
Something along these lines. They gathered around him. And this is so interesting, because you are one of those people who came to Abdullah of today, which is Abdullah Hashem of Sadiq. And this verse opening up for you was kind of like a foreshadowing of what was to come in your destiny.
Yes.
But you wouldn't have known that when you opened it back then.
Back then, when I opened it,
I have chills right now.
I saw it's Surah Al-Jinn. I also, I didn't know what this means. But when I saw it after a year and a half, I think it was much more stronger, as a message, as a
absolutely. It shows that God is kind of like, He has a story for you, He has a plan for you, and He always did. That's
and
amazing.
actually, when I did it, I didn't need it. I just something I learned from one of the videos, and I applied it.
Right.
Yeah. So when I woke up, I did it.
Wow.
Yeah, the significance of this particular verse cannot be overemphasized, because this is the one verse in the Quran where the name Abdullah
right there
is linked with the one who rises, and the Qa'im, which
rises.
is the one who rises, the title of Abu Sadiq, he is the Qa'im of the family of Muhammad. So to have this verse out of all the 6,000 verses show up is a real mark, and an absolutely epic noon in the eye that has so many different layers to it. This must have taken your faith to the next level. Skyrocketed.
What can you do about
What happened after that?
How can you deny that?
How can you deny it? Yeah.
So you were now seeing that your relationship with God, that you just began, you started talking to Him, He immediately throws this into your path and says, hey, the Mahdi has appeared on YouTube. And then He is cornering you not just with logic, but also with His own communications, His own kind of like miraculous signs that are appearing in front of you. That's incredible. Dreams, istikharas. As you said, how can you deny that? Yeah, what happens next? It's such a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You got onto a catapult and came back west.
Yeah. During these times, of course, talking to their parents, like usual.
Yes.
And it's just talking to the, friends and parents and linking it to what happened in the university in Jordan. It's like you think about your physical relationship with your family. It's like, okay, let's take it to a third scenario or a different scenario. If I saw a UFO, me as your son, don't we have a secret word that I can tell you to believe me, or as your son, as my mom, or you're my best friend, or etc. Right? I don't think so. It's kind of like a swarm of fish or swarm of something moving, and you just move with it, or you just turn around and you want to see the end of it. Is there an end to it or no? That's what I think. Yeah, it's just people are just used to what they have. Change is hard. Change is always hard.
It is hard.
Yeah,
it's actually the very rare and the very few that are willing to break away from what the crowd is used to. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean the crowd is like what's his name? There's an Lebanese American philosopher. His name is Khalil Gibran. In one of his books, I think it's called Foam. Yeah, Foam and something, I forgot.
Khalil Gibran's pretty well known.
Khalil Gibran's well known. Yeah, he wrote The Prophet. The Prophet is very famous.
There's
another one. There's another book. Okay, I'll remember the name. In that book, he says that there's a man who he left his hometown to work, away, and he worked for about 3, maybe 6 months away. Now it's time to go back to his hometown, to his family, wife, and kids. So he does remember that there's a big mountain behind his house. So, okay, walking, longing for that big mountain so he can assure himself that he's nearby, he's close to home, he's about to arrive. So he sees that big mountain. His eye says, I see the big mountain. Now, the other senses, the hands say, I do not feel a big mountain. The mouth say, I do not taste a big mountain or a mountain. The nose, I cannot smell. The ear, I cannot listen. I cannot hear a big mountain. So the senses together, they came to the conclusion that there is something wrong with the eye. And they discredited it. You know, so the senses came to conclude that, okay, something's wrong with the eyes.
Yes.
So that's...
Like the eyes are behaving like a cowboy.
Yeah, and basically, you know, we as a human species, we can see 0.5 from all of the colors and lights in the universe, right?
Yes.
But still, we judge on everything by our own eyes,
Right.
Which is a disaster, if you ask me. It's a recipe for a disaster.
Misleading. Yes. Very misleading. Yeah. Interesting. Very nice analogy. It really ties up your experience in general with people and them not believing you through your story. And so at this point, what happens? You're in China. You found the Mahdi on YouTube. You're trying to learn how to pray because you want to be a good Muslim, and you're assuming, okay, this is probably how I have to be now, right? Because the Mahdi's here, I should be praying. The ritual prayer, am I correct? You were trying to...
Yeah, I did that for, alhamdulillah, like for a week, 10 days. Then I saw the video that says how to do the real prayer.
Good.
Which is to follow your imam of the time.
Exactly.
That's much better.
Makes a lot more sense, right?
Makes a lot more sense. It's much better. But now I'm in China, right? And, of course, you're in a communist country. Now you go outside in China and you do the real prayer, And by the way, I had a phone. This is for the Arabs that they live outside. They always start the conversation with, brother, by the way, I have an open mind. When you hear this, I have an open mind, it's
red flag.
Just hold on. So what happens usually is, brother, I'm living in the States or in Canada for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I have an open mind. Okay. So tell me, what is the hard? What do you do as the Ahmadi religion of peace and light in day to day? Well, okay, I lost, for example, mom and dad, friends, family, that kind of stuff. Wife, son, for example. Maybe in some countries you don't have to go to that extreme. But as someone from this Sunni Islam or Shia Islam or Islam in general, they take they take it personally, right? So me, myself, for example, if my son is going to be in the future a Buddhist or atheist, or okay, that's good. We have a table, let's talk. Like Abu Sadiq alayhi salam taught us, right? Okay, that's actually, you're different now. We can talk more actually about the differences between me and you.
It's more interesting.
It's more interesting. Life is more interesting. It's not like kind of a personal thing. Goodbye, I'll push you away. So they start with an open-minded, but they want to show you that if they pray 5 times, it's much harder actually, which is not, because you're not helping anyone.
Exactly.
It's not about how many physical
movements you're doing.
You're doing. I mean, if the donkey was the one who worked hard, then this land should be for him. He's the one. It's not to the owner. It should be to the donkey. But it's never the case, right?
Well put.
Yeah. So in China, by the way, in China, the people are interested in this Ahmadi religion of peace and light. And in Abu Sadiq, the city that I was living in, it's well known that they know the picture and the name of Abu Sadiq alayhi salam in China. And people in China are smart. They know. And especially, the people with, let's say, rich people, like really, really rich people, business people, they'll be like, you'll see the fear in their eyes. But I don't agree. This model you see them as scared. Then I will go back to the first point while talking to them. I'll say, that's why right now you guys are like less than 1%, the rich people. And 99% of the people are the poor people. And I think, God said now, it's time for the 99% to have the word. It's time for them to speak, not the 1%, which are the rich people. And this is also
a testament to your faith.
This from China. This is the first one in China, made in China.
Made in China.
But I know there's a lot more to...
no tariffs on that?
Wow.
more tariffs on it, but I know that a lot more are gonna come.
Yes,
Yeah.
inshallah. That's
So-
really
Of course, this is the
I mean,
first
it's
one.
an awesome hoodie. I would love one.
Yeah.
like that,
amazing.
to be honest.
And you used to sport this around, and lots of people saw you.
Of course,
Yeah,
course.
there
I
you
wear it like a.
See, that is
Like a
that is
crown,
the
yeah.
true prayer. Well, this
Yeah.
is salah, right?
Yes.
Connection with God through the imam that He appointed.
Beautiful.
Amazing. And thank you for doing that and for making that
Thank you.
awareness, because it's not easy in China.
No, it's not. It's not easy in a lot of places, and China is definitely on that list, for sure. And you
Yeah.
still did it.
As a Middle Easterner, as a foreigner, as a somebody who speaks Arabic, do they also have the same, by the way, kind of fear of Arabs and Muslims in China as they do in the West? Since is there a same kind of suspicion around them, or?
I mean, not as much, but still. You know, it's,
That just being a foreigner in general, that you looked at with a little bit more.
yeah, if you're a foreigner, you do look different. There,
But you weren't in
China
any
is a
danger at any
closed
time.
country, you know.
Right,
It's recently been open to the world. But for them, you know, it's a closed country. So also they had some of the good stuff still saved in China, you know, kind of the positive about countries. So I know, for example, now everyone knows that there's a problem between, for example, China and the States. But the States in Chinese, it's called Meiguo. Meiguo means literally the beautiful country. Beautiful country. Mei means beautiful. Guo is country. So when you see them next time talking like the politics and saying this, the USA, in Chinese, what they are saying is, we're going to put tariffs and do this to this beautiful country.
Fascinating.
That's true.
Which is, you know what I mean? It's not that bad, but it's still, I mean, it's the same now. The one who controls everywhere is the same.
So, by the way, this is a bit off topic, but you speak Mandarin then?
Yeah, I do speak Mandarin.
I'm wondering if we can ask
Can
our
you
brother to show us a few a few sentences.
Well, you guys don't know how to speak Mandarin, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Not the
at all.
foggiest. There's no frame of
Couldn't survive
reference.
for a
You could just be saying, making something up. We wouldn't know any
We
better.
wouldn't even know if it was accurate. So go ahead.
Okay. وعيني أبا Sadiq. I said, you want the translation?
That
Of
would
course,
be great.
I love you, Abba Sadiq.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whiny, huh?
وعيني, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, it sounded almost Arabic.
We do have a brother here. We have two brothers here actually in the
Yes,
community who can
we
understand
do.
our dear brother Muhammad. So we can always go back and check if that was
Yes,
correctly said.
indeed.
Yep.
I'm sure it was.
And by the way, the Arabs can go do the Chinese language better than the, let's say, non-Arabs.
Oh, because they can make the sounds right.
Yeah.
Correctly, right?
The
Yes.
sounds for us, for example, I make it
Yep.
clearer than the Chinese.
Yeah.
Because of
That's
the Arabic.
There you go.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Sorry,
That's
that was
it.
a bit off topic. But you were telling us now at this point you stopped praying again, the ritual prayer, because you watched the video where Sadiq explains the real meaning of prayer. So what was happening now? You were just going through the lectures? You were just getting more accustomed to the religion?
I mean, when you start, for me, when I started watching the lectures, I couldn't stop. It's kind of, like I said, the quiz or the questions that you had, let's say, most of your questions that you had at that time are being answered one by one by one. And the most interesting part, the questions that you've never asked yourself, that you see in the lectures or in the book, that you would say like, oh, how I've never asked myself or never wondered about this question. Because now you have new questions, new angles, new ways of thinking.
That's true.
Which is really, if I want to leave something today for the people who are watching, it's really a good start to start watching the videos on the Mahdi Has Appeared channel, YouTube channel. And of course, the Goal of the Wise. And if you don't have time, make time.
How do you say in Mandarin, this is the best book ever written?
Say it in Chinese?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give you a challenge. Come on.
That sounded correct to me. Sounds pretty good.
Respect.
So you said that basically, I like how you put it, that watching the videos was almost like finding if you had the right answers all along or not, that deep down you knew were true, but the world keeps opposing it. And then that you have this man who's the Mahdi who's confirming it with proof. And it's so, assuring, isn't it, to hear that kind of beautiful logic. But was there ever a point where you were reading the book or watching the lectures and you said to yourself, whoa, this is like a lot, this is very difficult, or this is very heavy? Because we know these narrations that the Qaim does bring heavy knowledge for the people. Did you encounter anything that you found that way?
Of course, there is. It depends on your background, actually. It depends on your background. If you want to take it lightly, you can. But in everything that you do watch twice, if you read the book just 2 times, you will know. I can understand your question. I do understand, because every time you read the book or you watch a lecture, you'll find something new. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of always saying to yourself, okay, be careful, try to focus. Because we know that next time I'm going to watch this lecture or read this book or this door even, I'm going to see something new.
Yeah.
And by the way, lately I'm coming into the habit, like just reading in the morning, 5 minutes, random, open any page. I'm still learning.
That's beautiful.
Still learning.
That's a nice way of beginning the day.
Yeah. And you take it like 5 minutes. You can put a lot of focus in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, you can put a lot of focus in them. You can make it a page, 2 pages, random, but make it random.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes, very
Good
amazing.
Habits.
That's it. You just need a little bit every day. And what you said that really made an impression on me is that there is also something called intuition, which is that inner knowing, that feeling that the name Ahmed al-Hassan in and of itself
is truth.
Reminded you of something,
Yes.
right? Like maybe, who knows, maybe back sometime, maybe in a previous incarnation, you were privy to the will of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family. And that's where intuition comes from. The word in Arabic is ma'rifa. You recognize something. It's not always about the knowledge. It's about perceiving the truth that is already inside your soul. And that's something that I think we can all connect with as well. And I really like that, because a lot of the time we think that, we're so, we've really weighed all the evidence, we've read all the books, we've memorized verses of the Quran, but the secret is already within us. Everything within us is unfolded, the universe and the truth, and the knowledge is also inside. There is a book inside of the heart, and it's available to all of those, even those who can't read and write.
For free.
Yes, absolutely.
Just to... On that point, you remember when you said, Abu Sadiq alayhi salam said, to learn English or to learn any language, you need to think of it, right?
Exactly.
I have videos on like years ago. I'm saying the same thing in China. Because people ask me most of the time, how do you learn the languages so fast, especially Chinese, for example? You control the mind. You speak to yourself, meaning, okay, I'm thirsty. You don't say I'm thirsty to yourself, or let me grab this water, or get a cup of water, or let me wash my face. No, you say it in the language that you want to learn it.
Right. In your mind. You're talking to yourself in that language.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you can't sleep, okay, in that language, learn how to count from 50 to 0 in the new language. It's a challenge, by the way, because if you make a mistake, you have to go back from 50 to 1, So I was telling one of the brothers, he was asking, like, how can I learn English? And same answer, like I always say. But we know that this is also one of the teachings of the Imam. Yeah.
Everything is within us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how your journey will continue to unfold down this path. I think you being chosen by God and by his messenger in China, because oftentimes we think, well, we found the Mahdi, but actually the Mahdi found us.
It really is like
Right?
that. At this point, after all these episodes, how many times have we had a person sitting here telling us that, and I was doing such, and this happened, and then I opened YouTube and I saw a video that said the Mahdi has appeared. And it's always that response, and you're right. At this point, Abu Sadiq's the one finding the people, really. It really is like that. And I'm just so amazed at your story. We heard so many interesting parts of your life today.
And I'm sure in the future there'll be some revelation explaining your connection with the land of China.
There
without
has
a
to
shadow
be.
of a
There must
doubt.
be something.
Yes.
You seem to be very Chinese through and through from within, in a good way, in a very nice way. You've got that kind of spiritual aspect.
Eastern spiritual
it's
wisdom,
nice.
yes.
Something that made you decide to join the community and become one with this beautiful place and serve Abu Sadiq. serve the cause, serve humanity first.
Definitely the best thing I ever did in my life,
Yes.
joining this community and living with my real brothers and sisters, and being with my real master, real father, Sadiq alayhi salam. It's truly, I found the place where I belong finally.
That's beautiful.
I do have this feeling of belonging every day. And what can I say?
Yes.
We were invited. It's not our own brains or smart. No, we were invited here.
Yeah.
And to everyone who's watching, of course, everything is a sign. Yeah. So this might be your sign.
Yes.
Nice way to end the show.
What was it? William the cowboy becomes Muhammad the Chinese.
Muhammad the Chinese.
I wish we had written William the cowboy as his name now. Thank you so much, Muhammad, for joining us today.
Sister.
It was great to have you. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, brother.
Really, really did. And thank you for tuning in. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.